To all those who dare to dream, I have incurred a great debt through the accumulation of endless inspiration from so many important people in my life. They have helped to make my mythopoeic fantasy a reality. I will thank them each individually when I see them, and collectively through this work.
When Poet asked me if I would write the foreword to her tale, at first, I thought she had to be joking. I was pleased to find that she was being quite serious. She said to me,
I am pretty much an open book. It is so nice when someone wants to read a few pages or even become one of the characters in my old story. For your encouragement and your patience, I love you.
She has always supported me in my creative pursuits, though it wasn't until this particular acknowledgement of my contributions to her life's work that I realized just how strongly she felt about me. In many ways, she is like the other half of me. Much like Poet, I have been a storyteller all of my life. For as long as I could figure, I battled with a lingering sense that something was missing. Something was telling me that there was something more for me out there. I could only surmise that that something was the something, telling me that it was there, waiting. If we are to be joyful, then we should dance and sing when the spirit of the universe moves us. We should always keep our promises to ourselves, never question our inspirations, be wary of the future, remember the past, and yet remain alive and ebullient in the present moment. Time is quite literally the space between moments. Time is what drives us toward adventure. So in the remnants of the depleting sunlight, the trees gathered themselves into a circle, like spectators around a stage or disciples on a pilgrimage to hear a sermon beneath the stars. They waited patiently, forming a ceremonious corridor, the entrance to an arbor maze without solution. The answer to the riddle and the power of identity lies not within the bright stars themselves, for anything of beauty and purity is a reflection of the face of the great shattered spirit. Each celestial prism holds every thought, dream, and ineffable memory of who we once were, when we're no longer separated by pain, fear, anger, or sadness. Creativity is the light that shines within us all. It began with paintings on a cave wall. Music drifted out of the symbolic images, and fire leapt forth from the sounds. A shadow was cast by the fire's light, the silhouette of our hero. We could hear the song, we felt the rhythm, and danced while the story thus unfolded. We spun in concentric circles, carefully connecting all of our intricate iconography. Deconstructed, forgotten, and then coming open at the seams, our stars were compressed into streams of diamond lullabies. Imagination, like an ageless sky, strong and silent, shepherded us all through the mighty rumbling storm. Our hearts beat like those of animals fierce and free. We were breathing clouds and drinking oceans. The world was laying at our feet. We teetered on the edge of a whistling drop, both hero and bard, singing songs about our own misadventures. We brushed the sleep from our tired eyes and gazed down upon the earthly realm far below. We trembled before the reckless plunge into the throat of the infinite. We knew this was our purpose, to live our lives according to our own wills. We set out to discover and to learn, marching ever forward in the direction of the sun. We sought pertinent lessons with which to create our own legends. We longed for the epic challenges that would define us. We climbed the most daunting mountains in search of a single tree, grown from the bleak remnants of our dreams. We found it in the center of everything. We'd seen it many times, but never before had it shone so brightly. Its knotted branches were winter bare. No leaf adorned its brilliant crown, yet it shimmered as a rare star unto heaven. The moment we touched its trunk, it burst into bloom, and we encountered it again and again in every lifetime of every temporal being that had ever lived, as well as those who would yet be born. Now we are full, speaking the languages of nature and time. We can interpret existence and understand that there is no absolute beginning and no ultimate end. Wisdom is remembered. We simply must recall all of the stories that we've forgotten. We merge with the source like pouring water from a cup back into the sea. Each of us is a brave notion, a facet of the kaleidoscopic eye of the eternal vision. If we stop once in a while to just be thankful, to savor a moment, to let our dreaming minds wander, we will discover countless coiled passageways as of yet unraveled. Despite all of these divine clues, I question still the mystery. Was it really worth the effort? Will anyone care? Did I truly have something important to say, and if so, will it ever actually matter? I didn't know if I was ready. Is anyone born prepared, or do we have to learn as we go? The dream cannot become what it is meant to be until others share in it. Some of these mysteries are probably not meant to be solved. Acceptance of the unknowable is required in order to cope with mortal life. We are unable to fathom infinity. We must find some peace in realizing that we cannot possibly know. Poet told me,
We are all just along for the ride. Like it or not, the unknowable piques our curiosity to seek and learn. You will have to start all over again from scratch. All of the old ideas are gone now, and if you ever choose to return to this fantastic place, it will be very different than it is now. Who knows what astonishing wonders will await you? Destruction and creation are not so different as we presume. By destroying this fabrication, you are recreating it, and thereby remaking yourself. You are a sum of all the love that has been poured into your perpetual creation. Trust me, I know. I've done this many times before.
She then told me that this perpetual fairy tale should be dedicated to all who dare to chase their dreams of happily ever after. She honors those friends brave enough to love her by telling this tale. We become responsible for the ones who elect to love us and whom we choose to love in return. We share in the joys, the sorrows, the triumphs, and the failures that are inherent to this life. So she saved me from myself. She led me out of the dream into her imaginary sanctuary. We sat down across from one another on ancient stumps, and I stared into her eyes for what felt like 1,000 years. It looked like she was meditating, drifting free of whatever it is that ghosts dream about. The ferns around her lay flat, as though paying her homage. I bowed my head too. She expelled a soundless breath, revitalizing summer's warmth and blowing the winter chill away with it, far off into the mystifying woods and out of sight. We were alone then, and vulnerable perhaps. Her radiating aura acted as an impenetrable bubble that no shadow could invade. Her crossed feet were half buried in the dirt. Her skin held no blemish, yet her pleasant face was mature with the lines of age. Her eyes grew abnormally large, and her distinctive sandy blonde tresses seemed to be swept by a faint autumn breeze. She vanished, no longer an inhabitant of this realm, but bound to another, one that knows her and of what she dreams. In fact, she was always there, having unusual adventures and rebuilding that world with her quixotic songs. So long as someone remembers her, she will forever live on, a phantom of our imaginations. She will not come back in this lifetime. She left behind no trace and no path to follow. She was gone, and the spellbound forest sighed deeply. Everything was still. Spring would follow. After dreaming all of this, My eyes opened as gently as blooming flowers do, shrugging off sleep and lovingly dropping my remaining tears of slumber onto my cool, cloud-like pillow. Everything around us is concealed by the dour specter of reality. We see so much more clearly when our eyes are closed. Simon Sandpiper, aka the Reverend Isaac Sylvan, aggregate of the ecliptic, the eternal continuum of peace, love, and truth.